Saints roster projections, what was the toughest position to pick on the 53-man roster? Now that we've seen OTAs, we've seen minicamp, we've gone through, we had to make some decisions, but we projected the 53-man roster going into the season. Let's start off with you, Nick, and see where your roster is at with the receivers.
Yeah, the answer to the first one, the toughest spot, I don't really think there was really a super tough spot. Maybe the back-end linebacker.
It was linebacker for you because you sent in a few revisions.
Yeah. Just kind of picking that last guy to get on there. But wide receiver, I don't think I really struggled too much with this one. I kind of got everybody on there. The hardest thing maybe was where do you take an extra guy, where don't you? This was a spot where I think I maybe took an extra guy. Somebody's going to have special teams value, but I couldn't cut Equanimeous St. Brown, and I wasn't quite ready to cut Bub Memes either. I think he's probably going to find a way to make the team. So I decided to take 6 here, which meant I was going probably one. I'm guessing I'm going one lighter at linebacker than the rest of you guys.
Yeah, this is receiver is the one position where we had 3 completely different configurations. Every other position, I might be wrong about this, but I think every other position, at least 2 of us were identical. In this case, you kept St. Brown and Means. I only kept Means. Brandon only kept St. Brown. Now, when I first went through and I did it, I had St. Brown on it. And then my total was 54 or 55 or whatever it was. What I tried to do is I tried to cheat, and I tried to have 6 receivers and only 8 offensive linemen. And I even went back through their history. Even though I don't love all the offensive linemen, we'll talk about that position later. I was like, I got to go 9 offensive linemen. They go 9 offensive linemen. You're allowed to bring an extra one up on game days. They typically do that. So I left Equanimeous St. Brown with sort of the asterisk that he feels like one of those guys that they could do a handshake agreement with. He could be one of those Saturday call-ups every week if they need him. If they think Bub Means isn't ready and they're going to do the redshirt freshman thing with Bub Means, he's going to be healthy and active every week. Equanimeous gets the call on game day. But I couldn't cut Bub Means because I think there's enough profile there. I think there's enough potential there. People are always more scared of someone not being able to pass through waivers than reality. But with Bub Means, I'd be surprised to see him cut and try to sneak through on the practice squad. But, come game days, I'm predicting the redshirt freshman season for him. Write him in pen as a healthy and active most weeks, and maybe a veteran like St. Brown gets activated ahead of him.
And that was a very real possibility that went into my decision to keep St. Brown on the roster. But another thing that kept St. Brown on the roster for me personally is I think he's going to be able to fill that role as a big possession catcher.
Yeah.
He's going to be able to go up there and be physical. And the things we saw during minicamp, he's not just a big guy, but he's also kind of agile. He can make those acrobatic plays. So those were some of the things that kept St. Brown on the roster. Also, he can block, and you're losing that with Juwan Johnson.
You don't have a lot of guys that can do that.
Right.